Hey everyone, hope you all had a great weekend. Thanks for joining me today on October 16th. And as always, we are not financial advisors, and everything you see on here is for educational purposes only. Alright, let's start with BTC, and look at that pump right there. Oh man, was I wrong today? So I thought we would actually drop. And I made a video last night, and I did it too late. I feel it's like too late because it was kind of like last minute after I made, a call to like, hey, technically today we should drop. I'm glad I made the video because one, it's not as surprising that we went up today instead of not dropping like I thought we would. Because just like before, I had two options. Like if you look at one of my videos before, there's a time over here where we were stuck in two different scenarios. I talked about how this little push up could be here, and then we're gonna go sideways and then drop. Or there's a chance we could go up just because, we had this play here was technically this. Even though it didn't look like that, that could still play out. And the reason I said this is because this move down here looked a lot like this move down here. And once we started pushing up, it made more sense. Now you're like, oh, okay, it was. This went up, down, and now we went back up. Then we knew we were at the top, we would push back down. So yesterday I made a video talking about how, hey guys, I think this drop is this already. Like, I thought we would drop one more time, but in reality, I pointed at this candle here might have been that drop already. And I posted an update earlier, but one thing I forgot to mention last night is why I thought that this was this here, and one of the reasons was because of this. Well, one, you can see that curve down kind of be this already, and we kind of went sideways. But where's my little pen? But what really gave me the clue is the same thing as before here, like how I saw this as a clue. I saw this as a clue. If we look at this and here, this is a little higher than this. If we look here and here, it's a little higher, right? So that kind of hinted like, hey, we're going to have a push up and then a push back down, go sideways, and then our 50-50 play out will commence. Whether we dump or we push up. So that's why I made the video last night. I go, hey, technically, like, this kind of shows that we could even go up if we don't dump down. I posted, I hate when there's two different scenarios like that because I don't want to be like, oh, well, I was right and wrong, because there's no right or wrong, right? It's 50-50 chance. And I don't like being like everybody else that just throws out a bunch of targets and stuff. I like to have one simple target and that's it. This pattern, unfortunately, hasn't locked in. This is why I'm making these. This is why I'll come in and make these changes and say, hey, there's technically two scenarios. But just like I can't like claim 100, like, hey, this is like 100% locked in. This is what we're gonna do. I'm still gonna say I missed it because I technically did, because I thought we would actually drop today. 2 days ago, 3 days on Friday, I mentioned like, hey, technically we should go sideways, which we did, and then we should start having a big drop on Monday. We went the opposite way. Now here's the catch: we are on a strong reversal fib at 28,008. If we hold here and dump back down, then this pattern's still going to play out because we'll dump back down to this area. If we break above that, then there's a good chance that the pattern is finally valid. I mean, it's voided. It's no longer going to follow that. But if I remove this and I take a lot of the noise away, just like over here, like, oh, when we pushed up, it looked a lot like the pattern. And if you look at it now, we have that little circle up and it looks like the pattern. It pushed up more than I thought I would like it to, but still, it's not following the pattern exactly the same. Like here showed up, we should go sideways. It had like a nice drop, push back up, nice drop. Here it kind of gave us like a S little kind of figure, but like laying down, right? So here, so it's not gonna match it exactly perfect. Like this showed like up, down, up, down, up, down, like that. Should be kind of like flat or kind of sideways. So it doesn't follow it perfectly. So the fact that we have this push up is okay. We're still like in, there's two scenarios that could play out, but I want you to know, like, look how, it looks like it played out there. We just needed to drop back down, go sideways, and then drop back down. So yesterday I drew two different pictures. Where did I put it? Like two little scenarios where, like, hey, after the up, we come back down. We either drop because maybe the first scenario still plays out. Because, I mean, it's technically still Monday. It could, I doubt it will. But maybe we crash later and it actually plays out. But it will come back down and go sideways. then kind of slowly start to push down. So these are the two scenarios I mentioned could play out last night. After we do our little like pump, because then afterwards it shows sideways and then a drop. Because it pushed up a lot more, I highly doubt we'll drop today. And I think we'll just play out the second scenario, which last time we also played the second scenario where it kept going up to 28K perfectly. And it went up there perfectly. It was supposed to touch it up again, but it didn't. It went up a little bit to like 20. Went up a little bit, but again, it doesn't have to match it perfectly. Just like here, it went up a little bit more. Well, I mean, it's kind of there, but I thought it would be a little smaller. So now we drop back down to about 26,900. And now when we look at the smaller time frame, you know, we touched the top twice now. So we're due to touch the bottom channel on the 1 hour, and the bottom channel is 27,300. 27,300 will be about, what's up? Will be about here. So we can do this 23. So this candle will come all the way back, kind of like how this candle here looks like, where it kind of like retraced a lot. Yeah, kind of like that candle. And on the 4 hours, we ended up touching the bottom twice. So we were actually due for the top. And this is where I kind of like failed the group, because we touched the bottom, the bottom channel here and here. Remember, this thing adjusts. So when we touch the bottom here and here, and the way I found that out is like, the way someone can find out is if you go back. Because remember, this thing repaints, it adjusts. So we touched it there. Then we had some green candles. We touched it a second time. We were actually due to hit the top. So I actually didn't catch this because I usually take the weekends off, but I might have to keep an eye on it on the weekends a lot more than I normally do. Because then I would have saw, hey, we touched the bottom twice. We're technically due to come back up to the top, and that's 27,600. And that would have gave me the clue like, oh, we're still going to go up a little bit higher. So I failed on that part. But at the same time, I usually take the weekends off, but I still feel like I failed the team because, again, I have a lot of people that, you know, rely on me. With that said, is we touched the top once. We'll see if we touch it a second time. If we touch the top second time, so that means we stay up here for a little bit. Then we have to come back down to the bottom, and that would be 26,632. Hourly takes a long time to play, so 4 hours takes a long time to play, so we'll see how that plays out. But for now, we'll just kind of play it by ear with the hourly. And hourly, hence we have to drop back down to 27,300. And that will be almost giving back everything it pumped. Like whoever pumped this, it's gonna like give it all back. So we'll see how that plays out. And if it does that, then this will probably be the area where we go sideways and then drop. So instead of like being this sideways and then drop, it'll be like a little upward sideways and then drop. Well, remember, the last part is 50-50, so we'll see how that plays out. But technically, it's still kind of there. We'll see how that actually plays out. I'm going to go all the way back to get my little thing on. Yeah. I'll do that. But yeah, I just wanted to explain, like, I forgot to explain that little part towards the end of, like, oh, why I thought this was because of this was my clue. This already dropped where it's like close to that, and that was like perfect there. So again, we're on a strong reversal fib. We'll see how that one holds. Dollar just kind of going sideways right now. Everybody else has a little push up, nothing too extraordinary. Sol 4%, Ethereum 1%, so nothing too crazy as far as everybody else. If we look at gold and silver, they might start making their push back down to their targets. This target already hit here. We still need to drop back down to 2055 and 1840 on them. And that's pretty much it for today. Again, still in the path of the pattern unless we break this new high. We break above this new high, then it's like, okay, it's broken. And now we're kind of playing this, you know, it hit support 3 times and now it's going to push up to like this area, which is the next support area if we break upward. So it's not like a big move, but more of like we'll go back up to 30K once again. But that's pretty much it for today. Again, I'll keep everybody updated in the Discord. And this is another reason why it's very important to be in the Discord, because again, you get these alerts. Make sure you go on to the Signal room, so that way you can be in the new Signal room. Because again, last night I sent out that message, even though like I'm saying, hey, I'm technically wrong because I called the drop today. With the Signal room, you would have got that message yesterday to watch the video where I posted, hey, look, technically we're in that two different path scenarios where, you know what, it could push up and then drop back down and kind of go sideways. We continue to push up. Now it looks a little bit more like that path right there. But now you knew like not to expect, hey, there's a good chance like we're probably not going to do the big drop like I thought we would. So at least you had an idea of what to expect and not wake up today and be like, oh, I thought we were going to drop. So it's very important to be in that Signal room for those emergency alerts. All right, I'll see everybody on the next update. Now, if you're trying to get more information on the market, if you want to stay up to date with the market or just looking for a good community, in the description below, I did post my link to my website, which is tindicator.com. In here, you can find a link to Ko-fi or Patreon, which will give you access to the premium side of this channel and group. So I have two levels. I have that really stand out. You know, I have the Peace of Mind and I have the Edge. And the reason I named these names is because it's kind of what you get out of it, right? On the Peace of Mind, you do get peace of mind when it comes to the market. You know, you're not going to be surprised. You're not going to be shocked with what's going on. You know, just the other day, I sent out an alert on a Signal talking about, hey, the market looks like it's going to dump. Somebody like triggered something that kind of lets me know, hey, there's going to be a big drop. And, you know, 15 minutes later, big old drop happened. And then the same thing happened back over here. So nobody in the room's like, oh, surprise, oh, we dropped back down, right? And this is why I call it peace of mind, because you do get that peace of mind out of it. Then I have the Edge tier, which the reason I call it Edge, because you get the edge on the market, right? You're not just going to be blindly going into the market and not knowing what's going to happen. And I'm going to go over these tiers right now. So with the sorry, I almost said Edge, but with the peace of mind, you get access to the crypto room here. Edge also includes this, but you just get a little more. So you get, you know, access to market updates. We have our general chat. We have our crypto chat where everybody talks about what's going on. We have daily play. This is where I post all of my stuff. So my stuff won't get buried in, you know, a chat room where no one can see it. For the Edge tier, you actually get access to the Zoom scheduler. So you can actually schedule one-on-one Zooms with me so we can go over your portfolio, you know, certain coins you're interested in and you just weren't sure about it. You know, some people have had issues with their wallets. I help them recover that. I've had people who just want to vent. You know, sometimes we just talk about certain things and, you know, it helps them calm with the market, you know, so they're not too upset with what's going on. You know, maybe they got into a meme coin that's down 95% or anything like that. So it's really cool, and a lot of my members love this. We also have the newsroom where we post, you know, newsworthy information. Planned orders is where you can see what people are buying or selling. We have our group Zooms every now and then. Hidden gems room where people post, you know, unique coins that are just coming out. Passive income room for, you know, staking and all that stuff. We have a marketplace where people are buying and selling from each other. Tips and links in here, so there's a lot of links for like good, cool YouTube videos that you can watch about stop losses, you know, technical analysis. In here's where I always put the newest Signal link, and the Signal link is one thing I recommend for everybody, because this is where I'll send you emergency alerts. Like if I see the market's about to dump, I will send a message here that's separate from all your other messaging apps, so that way you know, because a lot of people like to keep everything else muted, because sometimes, you know, people are posting too much, and this is the one that you can leave on, and this will let you know like, hey, this is emergency, like, hey, we're about to pump, we're about to dump, or hey, you know, something big is going to happen. Then we have charts where you can actually see what people are requesting. If you're on the Edge tier, you're allowed to actually request. If you are on the, you know, Peace of Mind, you can only view what other people are requesting, but here you can actually request all the coins you want to see. So I post them here, you know, corresponding to the alphabet. And some of these will be like this. You know, someone talked about one. Well, now you know that one has to drop back down to 0.013. So if you were looking to buy this coin, I would suggest waiting until it drops to that price before getting in. Because you don't want to get in and it's going to drop back down to this price. And now you would have wished you held off. So you get that advantage, you get that edge right off the market, because now you know when to get in and when not to get in. Another one that we were talking about, and I actually need to do a separate video on this because I didn't add it to the main video. But down here I mentioned, hey, so a member actually showed us this coin, and down here I mentioned, hey, you know what, this thing's about to take off, and it did take off. Once we were up here to this area, I was like, hey, you know what, this could probably be the top. And I drew this area here where we can drop back down to, and look, we barely missed it before it came back up. Now I'm gonna update them on this shortly. And then down here we have, a place for woo-woo in case you're into conspiracy stuff or anything like that. We have a astrology room. We have a spiritual room. And then we have two other rooms right here. These are our little kept secrets. We won't go into that too much. We also have a free trading room. So if you know anybody that actually is into trading, also the link is in the description below. If you're on the edge tier, you actually get an additional room where it gives you additional coins instead of just the free ones. But yep, that kind of breaks down my 2 levels of the premium. So again, if you want to stay up to date, I suggest joining us. We have a really good community. Everybody helps everybody out here. Nobody FOMOs, nobody's upset, nobody is shocked by what's going on with the market. I've had members even tell me, like, sometimes it's kind of boring because we already know what's going to happen, right? There's not that like feeling of like not knowing what's going to happen tomorrow, right? It's like, oh, what's going to happen? Is it going to go up? It's going to go down? We kind of already know what's going to go, like, right? And if we know we're going to drop and it goes up, we know it's going to come right back down. So if you made it this long, thank you for staying this long, and maybe I hope to see you in the room.